It would be great if I were consuming oat milk and all that stuff, but that's not going to make a worldwide change. Sometimes I don't really want to associate myself with some of the people that probably state themselves as vegans. My diet's probably used to eating protein, and I'm probably too lazy to make the change.
So I'm going to ask you 5 would you rather questions.
Okay.
Midway, you're going to realize what the topic is, and maybe we can have a bit of a conversation.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Dog.
Nice. Is it because you like dogs or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like cats.
Yeah.
Okay, love it. Would you rather be able to talk to animals temporarily or temporarily take one of their enhanced senses or capabilities?
I talk to animals, I think. Would you rather?
Probably talk to them.
Can I ask why?
Because I'd really want to know what my dog's thinking.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And obviously animals communicate with each other, but I'd like to see like how they communicate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Would you rather have the intelligence of a dog or that of a pig?
A pig's intelligent.
I don't know. I felt like it could be a trick question.
Yeah, pigs are.
Yeah, I'll go pig. Why not?
I probably would say dog still, though.
I'll go for a pig because why not?
Yeah, would you be surprised to find out that pigs are more intelligent than dogs actually?
That wouldn't surprise me, but I guess they're maybe probably treated worse than dogs.
Yeah, there's footage online where you can see pigs collaborating with each other to lift up gates.
Really?
Yeah, unlock latches, and there's even footage in sanctuaries where pigs they go and pick flowers and they come to decorate their house with it. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. The next question is a bit of a hard one. So, would you rather be a well-fed farm animal whose life is cut severely short when the farmer says you're worth more dead than alive, or a wild animal who's mostly starving but you get to live your life free for as long as you want and however you can?
Wild animal.
I get really angry.
So which one?
Yeah, wild and free. Why not?
Wild and free. Can I ask why?
Just get to live your life.
Yeah, you get to live your life doing what you want, I guess. I know you don't necessarily know when your next meal's coming, but you're not going to get killed by
Yeah,
whenever.
creatures, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and my final question is, in today's world, if you could be a farm animal, which one would you be? A cow for dairy, a cow for meat, a chicken, or a pig?
Not chicken. No.
You wouldn't be a chicken. I'd be an
No,
egg-laying chicken, though.
Yeah.
I'd be an egg-laying chicken
Okay. Yeah.
for that use.
So for egg-laying chicken,
Interrupting Chip here. Egg-laying chickens have been selectively bred to produce more eggs than they would otherwise. A wild chicken would have produced somewhere between 12 to 15 eggs, but the domesticated ones produce eggs almost daily. And because of that, they lose a lot of nutrients, and it's just really detrimental to their health. And that's just one part of it. There's also the fact that in hatcheries, male chicks are thrown alive into an industrial blender on their first day of life. There's also the confined spaces in almost all cases. Them being free range doesn't mean that they have space. It just means that they're not in a cage. And on top of all of it, they are still sentient beings that are being commodified for something that is completely unnecessary.
Not ideal, but I think I'd still be a chicken.
okay.
Because although they've been bred, at least my neck's not. But like, if you're a pig, you're getting cut up. So
Oh, they also get.
yeah, I know, but like, you've got a little bit of a lifespan in you.
Probably a cow because you get to eat loads of food.
Like for meat or for dairy?
Not for dairy because then you just get raided by a bull all the time.
Yeah.
Someone pulling on your udders. I'd rather just get killed at the end of it,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's actually even worse for the cows in dairy industry because
Yeah, it
they
is,
get
yeah.
forcefully impregnated. They have
I
their
don't want
babies
that.
taken from them.
No.
I'd rather just be fed loads of food.
Okay. So I think you realize why I'm standing here. I'm trying to raise awareness about, on behalf of animals, what's happening, and trying to have productive conversations with people. Do you guys consume animal products?
Yes.
Do you think we need to consume animal products?
Unsure.
I don't know enough about the topic. I know it's in discussion at the moment, but I don't know enough about it. I think just because it's the norm to eat meat, for example, I think that's all I've been brought up on. But
Yeah.
I would be interested to know the facts behind it. to then look at that further.
Yeah, so we don't need animal products to survive and thrive. We can survive on a plant-based diet nowadays. We have so many other alternatives to meat, to dairy, to all of these animal products. And given that there's immense suffering behind all of these animal products, because, for example, in the dairy, which I didn't mention, is what happens for the example for the dairy is that they have their babies taken from them, and if the baby is a male, they get slaughtered. If the baby is a female, they get put into this cycle year over year where they get forcefully impregnated and have their babies taken from them. And after 8 or 9 years, they also go to a slaughterhouse because they cannot no longer withstand. So there's a lot of cruelty behind any animal product that you can think of. And given that there's so much cruelty, you can obviously make the choice to consume animal products because you're well within your rights to do so. But don't you think it's a cruel choice to make, given that there's so much cruelty behind these choices?
Yeah, I think it's a tough topic of discussion because I completely understand where you're coming from, and I totally agree. Like, animals shouldn't be put through that. Obviously, animal welfare is important, but I think because it's been something that's quite traditional of what, as a whole nation, as a world, we consume animal products, it's going to be hard to break that norm. But it would be great if I would consume oat milk and all that stuff, but that's not going to make a worldwide change. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
I would agree. Like, I could stop using animal products, but like, is that going to help? If that makes sense, because like, there needs to be a bigger shift of more people than just like me and Tori.
So there is an impact that you can have when you decide to no longer pay for any of this. But before I tell you what your impact is, let me ask you, because given that all of this is happening unnecessarily to animals, right? We don't need to do this to them, yet we choose to do them. Wouldn't you say it's an injustice that's happening to the animals?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, so on their behalf, it's an injustice. Would you say if we apply the same logic to an injustice, like let's say racism, and we say,
That's a bold statement.
all of the sudden, everybody's a racist, during when there was slavery, you would say, everybody's a racist, might as well be a racist also. Is that a good logic to have, or how?
I think that's. I wouldn't compare that logic to that. I see what you're trying to do there.
Yeah.
But that's not the logic I was really trying to display on that.
I was vegetarian once.
I think it depends situation to situation. As I said, I totally get what you're saying, but it's more difficult, I think, just to get a few people to stop eating meat, for example.
But it is a form of discrimination, right? Because if I was to say, would you eat dogs?
Probably not. No.
No, right. So
but that's because it's not normality to eat dogs.
So, but if it were normal to eat dogs, would you eat dogs?
If it was normal in society and that's how I've been brought up.
No, just like a cultural shift happens instantly.
Probably not. I'd have to be more educated. Just like this, I'd have to be more educated to make that decision, to change my traditional ways.
Okay, then what if it were like humans? Let me ask you further.
What if we were eating humans?
Yeah.
I think that's situational. I think that depends on the situation. As I said, I think it's like
depends on who you eat, right?
Well, let me ask you. Like, I understand the point about situation, but what I want to get from you is: do you think it's okay to eat dogs or humans?
Dogs no, humans no.
Okay, then why is it not okay to eat dogs, but it's okay to eat cows?
I'm going to bring it up again. I think the traditional nature of what cows are bred for at the moment. Not saying it's correct, but that's what they're bred for. Whereas dogs have been bred to be home animals, whereas cows haven't necessarily been bred to be home animals, if that makes sense. I think it's just, as I said, like the way society's been traditional and hasn't really changed, that we haven't seen that change. Although there's more support with veganism and stuff like that, there isn't enough of a shift to push it. So it's a tricky situation, I think. I think it's going to take a long time to get everyone off of animal products. So
I see that you always go into this society, but yes. I want to know about you. I want to talk to you and I want to know about you because it's easy to look at society and thus absolve ourselves of the responsibility we have as individuals. But you do acknowledge that you have some form of responsibility, whether to participate in this animal cruelty or not, whether you want to...
But so then I'm going to bounce it back at you.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I make an active decision to consume these animal products, but I'm not within that process. It's on the shelf already for me.
Yeah.
The consumers want it. So I think I don't take accountability for that necessarily because it's already being done. If that, like, you see where my logic's coming from at that.
Yeah, but do you know how supply demand works?
Yeah, but like it's on the as I said, it's on the shelf already. So
Yeah. So, but if you buy it from the shelf, the market
So
will
then
replace it.
My
Yeah.
point to you is then if the demand goes down, but we're still making that supply to meet what we thought demand was, then that's all these animals are getting killed to go to waste. No.
Initially, yes, but at some point they just won't be bred into existence anymore,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So
So,
does that mean no more cows anymore? Or would you
well, no more cows bred for the sole purpose of being slaughtered.
Yeah. Right.
We can still have cows, just not for the purpose of slaughtering them at less than half their life, right? So, you mentioned veganism. What do you think veganism is?
I would be like I don't think I've got the definition correct on that, but I am aware that you don't consume any animal products or use any products or wear like leather or anything like that. Anything that's got anything to do with animals, animal testing, any type of material that's come from anything to do with an animal, like stuff like that. That's what I think it is to do with.
Yeah, that's a good description. So veganism is about rejecting the use of animals for like exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of them for food, clothing, entertainment, or whatever other reason we have, because we believe in there's science behind it that these animals are sentient. Do you know what sentience means?
No.
So sentience means that they have a subjective experience. That means that they experience the world around them much like we do. That they have emotions, that they feel pain, that they have dreams, that they, well, I don't know if all of them have dreams, but I know some of them have dreams. That they gather in groups, that they have families, that they have strong bonds with other of these animals from the same group, or maybe even like you have seen footage online of ducks being friends with cows, of cows being friends with pigs. It's all. So sentience means that they feel, that they experience the world around them, right? So if you were to ask me, I would say the reason why it's bad to kill a human being is because of sentience. The reason why it's bad to kill an animal is because of sentience.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, because they can experience the world around them, right? So that's what veganism is.
Right.
So let me ask you, what is it about veganism that you don't want to be, or you don't want to participate with any of it?
I think there's
Like leather shoes.
No, I think there's a bad name. I think there's a misconception behind what veganism is, but I would say that's the same for a few things. Like there's a misconception behind what a feminist is as well, and I think like unfortunately that's just the way society has made it look, is that it looks a certain way and you have to act a certain way, which is unfair. And like as I said, I can relate it to like feminism, for example, and it puts a bad name on it. So probably I have fallen into that cycle of it looks bad, so not looks bad, but like sometimes I don't really want to associate myself with some of the people that probably state themselves as vegans.
Yeah, I have heard that before. And
interrupting Chip here. Before hearing my response to this, I wanted to say two things. First of all, you should not care what people think about you standing up for women's rights or animals' rights. And second, I believe that being a feminist or being a vegan actually makes you look better. They are not negative labels in any way. In fact, they are extremely positive ones. They show that you care enough about the rights of others and that you don't just conform to what society tells you to conform to.
like, you don't have to associate with any of it, right? You can call yourself whatever you want. You don't have to call yourself a vegan to associate with any of it. I mean, it's all about the animals. And my question to you is, what do you think about the definition of veganism that you don't agree with? Not necessarily with the term vegan itself, but rather the definition of it where...
I don't think there's anything I disagree with at all. Just probably I don't comply with it, I think is the problem.
Yeah, and why don't you comply with it?
Just because my diet's probably used to eating protein, and I'm probably too lazy to make the change at the moment into something like that.
I tried being vegetarian, but because I have to have so much protein as an athlete, it just wasn't really suitable, to be honest.
But do you have protein powder?
Yeah, but like I don't want to have protein powder all the time.
No. But I have 1 scoop of protein powder per day, and then you can have protein as a vegan. So before we like, all of this is nutrition and it's how to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did we understand why we do it? Why it's good to be a vegan? Because finding out how to do it, is you can, like, I can give you resources. You can look more into it online. You can find out all, like, I don't know how much protein you have. I had yesterday 350 grams of protein, so I have a lot of protein. I do powerlifting and bodybuilding, so I don't have a problem with getting protein on a vegan diet, but it's all about the animals, right? The reason why I'm standing here is because we don't want animals to go through these cruel practices. So do you think that you could spare, like you said, it's inconvenient for you to try and change? What is it? What would incentivize you to not to make the move? Because like, do you think these animals don't deserve to live, or do they? Are you just don't care about them that much, or?
No, I don't think it's either of those. As I said, I think I'm just my life at the moment. It's of ease to stick to what I've known throughout my whole life, and probably as the movement to me at the moment doesn't seem that huge. There's no like if something changed in government, for example, then I'll be fully on it. But just at the moment, I can't be asked. If I'm honest, like it's too much of a change of my life at the moment when I've got other things going on. And that's not me saying I don't care about the animals, because I do, but probably just not enough right now to make a change in my life. I guess that's me being completely honest about it.
But you do agree that it's morally wrong to slaughter an animal needlessly?
Needlessly, yes, but at the moment it's supply and demand, so people,
But
they're being
supply
bred.
and demand doesn't mean there's need, right?
Yeah, well,
supply and demand it means there's demand, not need.
Yeah, okay.
There's a difference, right? Because we don't need to consume animal products, we choose to.
Okay, well, okay, choosing demand then. There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is at the moment. It's not maybe we don't need the products, but unfortunately that's what people are choosing, so that's why animals are probably still getting slaughtered.
But do you think it's okay to kill an animal needlessly?
No, obviously not. But
Okay.
Yeah. No.
So then you are having difficulty aligning your actions with your morals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do this with everything, or is it just the animals?
No, I just like chicken burgers. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the bottom line. I think. Yeah.
But do you think that's a good enough justify? Because you said you would talk to animals, for example. Like, what would you tell the animals? Like the animals that are about to go in the slaughterhouse for you.
Like, buddy.
Just how you doing, mate? Do you know? It's that the debate around the animal like eating meat is a difficult one, and I'm not siding with. I'm not against veganism or anything, but like just as at the moment, it's too hard to comply to it.
It's too hard for you to switch a habit.
Yeah, I would say so at the moment.
But if one of your
as like. As I said, the movement of people surrounding me, my like local communities or whatever, there's no massive movement to that. I don't know any vegans personally, so maybe it's just because of the people I'm situated with as well. There's no influence on that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. So if all the people around you would be racist, you would say, I don't know, too much of a thing.
I mean, no, I think that's a little bit extreme, but I get what you're trying to use my
What's
analogy
the difference
against
between being racist and speciesist, which is what you are? So speciesist, yeah, it's a form of discrimination that you discriminate based on species, because you said dogs are, you shouldn't do this to dogs, but cows are okay. So it's a form of discrimination based on species.
Right, I just eat meat because it's on the shelf. That's probably.
But there's also vegan meat, right? You can find all of these on the shelves.
I just don't like it. Just don't like it. Don't like tofu.
Have you tried all of them?
I've tried the corn range. I know that's probably a pathetic answer to that question, but
Yeah.
I mean, I have tried it, so
But
it's
you
better than not trying it, I guess.
you're from UK, right?
I am, yes.
Have you tried all of the things? Because again, on the shelves there's so many alternatives that trying one and saying I don't like it, it's like saying, oh well, I tried not killing a cow, it didn't work for me, so I'm just going to go and kill that cow, right?
That's really quite like extreme.
But that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it may sound like extreme, but behind the scenes, when you buy an animal product, that product has to be replaced with another product. So that means that an animal will die extra for you.
Okay.
So that means when you make this choice, you consciously put an animal through these practices.
Right.
It may sound like extreme, but that's because it is extreme behind the scenes.
Okay.
That's how it is. That's the industry. So
I'm going to ask you a question.
yeah, go for it.
This is great. We're having an active conversation about
yeah.
it. What do you think this will influence? Like, what am I going to get out of this?
Well, that's what I want. I want you to. I want you.
Am I? You
Not
basically
you,
called
but
me
a
a
different
racist.
person.
I didn't call you racist.
But, like, you use that analogy, and I don't know if I quite agree with that. And I understand what you're trying to get your message out of it, but probably that's not the way to do it.
And I understand that you have a problem with my way. Like I have discussions. Sometimes I have like a nice discussion. Sometimes I have more flaming discussions. I would say maybe this is a more of a flaming one where you got offended by me calling you a speciesist. But this is like, what would you call a person that discriminates based on species? Because that's what you do, right?
I look up the definition.
I'm not telling, like, I don't mean to insult you in any way. I just call them how they are, right? Like, also, if you, for example, if you don't align your actions with your own morals,
Yeah.
what would you call that person?
I don't know.
It's called a hypocrite.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm trying. I don't eat any fish products, really.
Yeah.
Like, that's one animal or one
That
breed of
is
animal
great.
that I'm
Yeah,
saving
fish are
there.
probably
So-
the worst. Yeah, they
so
suffer the most.
I feel a bit better about myself. I don't consume fish, so
Yeah.
But maybe that'll be a gradual. Maybe I'll knock out chicken next, and then I'll knock out beef after.
Yeah, and that's great, right? Because
It's a gradual change. I don't think I can make a quick change like that. I think that's fair enough. Is that a compromise there?
I mean, it's a good enough compromise, I would say, taking a gradual change, as long as you're aware that each time you buy animal products, you do put animals through slaughterhouses. I mean, if you're okay with that, yeah, you can go.
But like then using your analogy, we're talking about like racism
Yeah,
and feminism. That it was a gradual change as well. So I think we can compare that to that. That this like going, vegan isn't going to be a gradual change for society as a whole. I think it would take a while.
For the society, yes, but as individuals, we
It'll
can.
probably still take a while for me as well, to be honest.
Okay.
I think people in modern society reflect what's going on, and as I said, we look at movement of women's rights and stuff like that. That took a gradual time. Me moving into veganism will probably take a gradual time.
And
if I go onto it.
And if you were in the shoes of the animal, what would you want yourself to do?
Wish him luck because you can talk and for him.
I don't really know what I'd say to the animals because.
But what would you want yourself to do if you were in the shoes of the animal? Like if you were one of the animals and you would be buying a product, what would you want yourself to do?
I don't know. I don't really have an answer to that question.
What do you think the animals want you to do?
The animals obviously don't want to be killed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just the way the breeding thing. We need to break the breeding process, I think.
Yeah, so I mentioned that you can have an impact earlier on, and as I was saying, the impact of one person going vegan can save up to 100 animals per year.
Okay.
Which is not nothing.
That's quite a lot.
That's quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you could be saving, even if you save one animal per year, if you ask me, that's still a ton of animals, right? That's still more than nothing, right? It's still one life that you're sparing. So, I don't know. I asked you already what would incentivize you, and you said maybe you'll take a step-by-step approach, which is already.
As I said, I've cut out fish already, so maybe I'll cut something else out.
Okay. I guess
don't wear leather or anything as it is. I don't.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but.
But did you understand what the issue is? Because this is at least the one thing that I want you to get out of this conversation. Why vegans are vegan?
No, I completely get it. I'm not being misunderstanding of it. I do understand it. I think it's just like moving on to that is a process.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you going to start moving into that process?
Well, as I said, I've cut out fish. That's a move into the.
That's one.
Process.
That's already you did. What's your next move?
There, and I don't wear leather. That's a step into the process. I guess cutting out. I've actually moved on to oat milk recently in my cereal or my protein oats. So that's a cut out of dairy. So I don't really take in dairy. So maybe I'm getting there, but. Maybe it's just the process I'll follow and see how long it takes me.
Okay. There's not really a lot that I can say about it. Okay, well, as long as you understand the problem, as long as you're aware that, and me bringing you up the problem, you're now more responsible because you're more aware about it, right? So when you will buy an animal product, you will put animals through this cruel things after, and can I give you some resources to look into it?
You can indeed, if you like.
Yeah, I would like to give you some resources. Yeah, so if you go on this website right here, you have resources on how to be vegan.
Okay.
If you put in that code, you have this one thing, which is just one thing that I want you to watch to get informed. That's all it is. And then you make your decisions for you. And that is the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Okay.
It's a speech by an animal activist, way better than me, who held a speech at the university in US somewhere.
Okay.
Somebody recorded it, put it up online. It's got millions of views.
I'm going to challenge your belief systems today, so certain parts of the speech will be intense.
It's 30 minutes. The video is 1 hour, but the speech is 30 minutes. I don't care that you watch the whole video. I just want the speech that you watch it. It explains what happens in the animal industry, all of it, because maybe you have questions about eggs, about dairy, about all of it, right? Not a lot of people are aware of what the things that are happening or why we don't consume those. And he explains kind of all of those things. Sometimes it's a bit gruesome, not always.
Right.
When it's gruesome, well, I still urge you to look to know what you're paying for.
Okay.
But at least you get informed. That's all it is. Can you promise me you're going to watch that?
I will look at it. We'll look at it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Nice. Thank you. That's all it is.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm Holly.
Holly. What's you? How about you?
Tory.
Tori. Okay, nice to meet you, Holly and Tori. I'm Chip. Just, I don't know, keep in mind that it's all about the animals, okay? And we constructed the society where we put this absent of sight. But if we would have footage of all the things that we do to animals, I don't think you would want to continue consuming animal products. That's all it is. And the way I see it is, yeah, society is nice and well built, but then there's these black holes of crap that we created.
Yeah, of course.
These are all the things that we do to animals, and we need to get rid of those. It's the only way that society can evolve properly, right? Because if I were to ask you, would you rather live in a world where we intentionally harm animals or one where we don't? Which one would you choose?
So we don't, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So you have the choice. You can make that choice right now. You can go further towards this. So
Okay. Well, nice.
yeah, you have the power. Yeah, it was nice speaking to you.
Where's this footage?